Show.
So tight, so fly. You got me lifted. You got me lifted.
Ascara! Hey, Chop. You might have to edit it to where I'm already sitting down if you want. If not, we'll keep it rolling, brother. It's nothing. 5, 4, 3, 2. YouTube fam, what's up, guys? Hey, today I'm gonna do story time. Today is story time. Hey, by the way, production is not the best, but we'll definitely get there. We'll definitely get there. One day at a time, we'll get there. Let me do a little mic check for you guys. Mic check. Mic check 1, 2. Mic check. Shout out to all the beautiful females out there. Mic check 1, 2. All the little mommies. Mic check 1, 2. Can you guys hear me? Can you little mamas hear me? Mic check 1, 2. Okay. Little mamas, females, DM me. Yeah, I said it. DM me, little mommy. All right. Hey, I think we sound good. Like I said, today is story time. I'm gonna do a segment for YouTube fam. We're gonna keep it pushing. We're gonna do a little segment to where I tell life events that has happened to me in the past. Whether it's funny or not, hopefully you guys enjoy it and I can keep pushing this content out for you guys. So I was trying to think about a life event that happened and only one came to mind for the time being. But I'm gonna end up just saying it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Oh shoot! Hey guys, I heard this song this morning. Hey, check this out. Check this out, guys. I heard this song this morning. I'm like, hey, I haven't heard this song in years. Check it out. I know you guys know about this.
Need it be.
Here we go again.
Bad boy South.
You don't feel
Don't
good
even
to say.
start. I know you guys know about this
I know
song.
my name did it, right?
It going
I
down.
gotta introduce y'all another motherfucker out my
It going
city, right?
down.
This nigga go by the name of Jock.
Young Jock.
Let me fast forward. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this. Who is this? Linda, listen. Listen, Linda.
It's on my feet, feds on my truck.
Yeah.
They don't think I know. I keep my hands
Yeah.
clean 'cause I never touch dope. Every time I see them,
Yeah.
in they eyes.
Okay.
Ask me how I know. It's me, surprise. Put it in the air, rip where you stay.
Ah.
Step back, blow the cushion, they fade.
What he say?
Sudden as I have,
Like
let
that?
them see the cash.
Okay.
I'ma make it rain, nigga.
Uh-huh.
I ain't scared to share.
Let's get it.
Meet me in the trail, it's going down. Meet me in the mall, it's going down.
Like that?
Meet me in the club, it's
What he
going
say?
down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down. Meet me in the trail, it's going down.
Yeah.
In the mall,
Uh-huh.
it's going down.
Okay.
Meet me in the club, it's
Yeah.
going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down.
Young Jock. Nitty strikes again. This a nitty beat.
Uh-huh. You said it. Uh-huh. All right, let's stop right there before you get copyrighted. Guys, sick of the song. Okay, anyways, check it out. I'm gonna tell a story today. The story is when I broke my first bone. I broke my first bone, I would say probably I was probably about 13, 14, or 15, in that range. It was around that range. I would probably say about 14 if I had to be exact. I was probably about 14 years old. And what is that, like 8th grade going into freshman year, I believe? I want to say it was because at that point I was already checking out the mommies to a certain extent. So I'm pretty, and I was crippled, you know what I mean? I had a cast up to here. Hey, basically, I broke my wrist, but I'm gonna get into how I broke my wrist. Okay, we were fishing with my grandpa. Rest in peace, my grandpa, I love you. I was with my grandpa, my brother, and it was me. And we were out there fishing on a canal bank. And we weren't catching nothing. Okay, hold on. I wasn't catching nothing. My brother wasn't catching nothing. My grandpa was catching everything in sight. He was catching trash bags. He was catching turtles. He was catching everything but fishes, but he was still catching something. So I'm like, all right, I already got bored. I was over it already. So me and my brother were chilling. We saw some rope. This is how bored we were. We saw some rope in the back of my grandpa's truck. And my grandpa, being the guy he was basically down for anything. So what he had is me, my brother, he had us back to back. So his head was hitting my head. Keep that in mind. we're back to back. My grandpa tied us up. And this rope was pretty long, so he tied us up. And he kept going. He went from right here, from like the shoulders, all the way down to the knees. To where basically there's no movement. You're not moving whatsoever. So we were being tied up back to back. My brother's a lot bigger than me at that point. He was probably like maybe 15, 20 pounds bigger than me. Younger than me, but bigger than me. Okay, so we're back to back. Keep in mind, guys, we're on top of a canal bank. There's a canal bank and then the road. Well, it was like a dirt road. So we were up above the road. So we were being tied up. The last thing my grandpa did was he tied a knot, pulled the rope. When he pulled the rope, my brother's heel kind of hit my heel to where the pressure had all the weight on me. So he basically, all his weight came on me and we tilted all the way down. Keep in mind, I'm like this. I'm like this, guys. There's no getting out. My whole arms are locked in. I'm locked in. There's no movement. And I didn't even realize it that I was like basically trapped. I'm like this, sitting like this. And my brother's heel crushes my heel. So all his movement ends up falling this way to where I'm falling on top of the canal bank. And as I'm falling, I'm like, oh shoot, this ain't gonna be good. So I like didn't panic, but the I don't know, like the reaction was to get my arms out. But I couldn't get my arms out because he tied it so tight. So I got my wrist out. I was panicking as I was falling, like, oh fuck, I'm bracing for impact. And I'm like, oh, and the most I got out was this right here. Boom, this right here. So we ended up falling. His weight landed on me, basically. Like, oh, you know, I fell. Boom, I hit the floor. The only thing I got out was my hand, my wrist, even my forearm was locked in. I hit the floor. I hit that floor so hard, like a sack of potatoes. I smacked into it, face first, wrist out, boom. My ears started ringing so bad. Now that I'm thinking about it, my ears are ringing so bad, I couldn't even hear anything anymore. I knew in my mind like something was wrong. That's funny as hell. I knew something was wrong. So like my ears are pierced, like, and all I can hear is my fucking brother laughing like a hyena, screaming, laughing because he wasn't hurt. He didn't know how hurt I was. By the way, my brother weighed like 150,000 pounds, and I probably weighed like fucking 36.8 pounds. Literally nothing. I could be pushed by the wind. You know what I mean? I was little. So I hit the ground, he hits the ground. All I got was my arm out. Boom, I smacked into it. I just remember eating a mouthful of dirt. So I had blood, dirt in my mouth. My ears were ringing. My brother's laughing like a goddamn hyena, as loud as he possibly can. And I didn't think nothing was funny at that time. I was like, how come I'm not laughing? Nothing's funny. He's having a good old time laughing. All his weight is on my face, and my wrist is completely snapped, and I didn't even know it at that point. So my grandpa had to roll us over to where I'm on top of him now, and he's unwinding us. And he's like, are you all right? And I'm like, yeah, I feel great. Yeah, I'm good. And he's like, you're bleeding. I'm like, no, I'm not bleeding. He's like, yeah, your face is bleeding. He's like, are you all right? And I'm like, my arm hurts. He's like, let me see your arm. And I went like this. This whole bone right here was snapped out this way. This bone was pierced this way. My fingernails were purple, like if a little baddie went to a salon and got them done. Got them purple, at like midnight purple. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, they look like paint was on my nails. That's how messed up my hand was. And he was like, oh, you broke your arm, or you broke your wrist. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And as soon as he said you broke your wrist, like immediately I was like, I don't feel good. Is he all right? I was like, yeah, I'm great. I just don't feel good. And I swallowed like blood and dirt And that just made it worse. I got nauseous, and I'm like, and I'm like, oh, I don't feel good. And he's like, all right, let's go to the truck. We went to the truck. Jacob's still laughing, and I look at him, and he's like, he doesn't even know what's going on. I had a long sleeve on, so all you can see is like my wrist, a bone this way, and a bone this way. Completely snapped. But I had a long sleeve on, so it was covering the whole thing, so you really couldn't see how it was. It was so close to being pierced out of the skin. It was so bad. So like I'm nauseous as can be, like rolling, just like acting like I'm dying and everything. It was just a broken bone. I'm acting like death is near. I go to the hospital. There was some big old doctor. I don't even know if he knew what he was doing, but he was like, oh yeah, it seems to be broken. You know what, I'll just snap it back in place and you'll be good to go. We'll put a cast on you and we're good. And I'm like, oh gosh. I'm like, all right, let's go. He grabs my puny little scrawny wrist and he tries to snap it back in place. He grabs the bone, is pierced right here. He tries to grab it and just with muscles tries to snap it back in place. And I'm like, all right, go ahead, it's fine. All right, go ahead. It's fine. He tries to push down and I'm like, ugh. I almost passed on like just out. Like I'm not even in tune. I'm in so much pain. He tries it again and I'm like, ugh. Like just gone out of it at that point. And he's like, all right, you know what? I can't snap him back in place myself. You're gonna have to have surgery the next day. So what he did was he put like a piece of shit cast on. It wasn't even a cast, it was like tape. He just put tape over my wrist. And I went home, I didn't sleep at all. I didn't sleep whatsoever. I had a broken bone, cracked wrist right here, completely done in so much pain. The next day I had to go get surgery. So we ended up going about an hour away from where I was at to go get surgery. We pull up to the spot. And I was rushed into surgery and they're like, okay, we're gonna put you to sleep. And I'm like, I haven't got sleep all night. I'm not tired, I'm not going to sleep. So they were gonna put anesthesia in me and I'm like, I ain't falling asleep. I'm like, whatever, try it, I dare you, try it. So I'm right there laying down. And they're like, all right, honey, you're gonna go to sleep right now, okay? We're gonna put the anesthesia in you. And I'm like, yeah, right. I ain't going to sleep. Whatever. They're like, try to count to 10. I was like, try? I could count to 100. I was like, 1, whatever. 2, out. Completely out. Anesthesia kicked in. As soon as I woke up, I think it was like an hour procedure. I woke up and I tried to wake up real silent. I tried to wake up quiet. I was already in bed like this. I woke up like, I fell asleep. I was trying to fight it as much as I could. Like, oh, how you feeling? And I was like, I'm good. What? I'm fine. I didn't fall asleep. I was awake the whole time. Like, okay, just relax. I was like, I'm relaxed. I've been relaxed for the past hour. What do you mean? So, after that, I had a full cast to right here. So I'm like this for the next like 3 months. I go to school. Well, actually, I chilled for a little bit. After that, they put me back in school. You know, at that point, I think I'm in high school, like freshman or something. I'm a little square bear in high school. And now that I think about it, like I had people. You know, the cool thing was to do is let people write on your cast. You know what I mean? So I went to little mommies, and I'm like, hey, wanna sign my cast? I mean, yeah, I guess. I was like, oh, so you into bad boys? That break bone? And they're like, not really. Alright, whatever. Hey, you want to sign it? They signed it. For example, they put like, Sharkeisha, P.S. Ty, leave me alone. Signed it. Whatever, it is what it is. Went home, I'm all reading all the little girls all the little mommies that wrote on my cast. And I'm like, Sharkeisha. P.S. Ty, leave me alone. Oh, okay, whatever. Ha! Whatever. It is what it is. Okay, I ended up staying like that. 3 months happened, I had to go back to that place I was at, an hour away from where I lived. And I had to go get the cast taken off. So basically I had to get it cut and removed. Because keep in mind guys, I had a pin that was sticking out of here. It was like this. So the whole time I had a cast, I had a bump that was like this, and I never knew why. There was a pin, a metal rod, sticking out from here to here. So I went over there, and they're like, okay, we're gonna take your cast off and we're gonna take the pin out. And I didn't even know what that meant, to be honest. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Me, I can do that, easy, no worries, handle. A girl walked in, beautiful, beautiful doctor, with a sweet voice, trying to be all nice to me. Like, hey Tyler, how you doing? Oh, what? I'm great. Look at me, I'm fine. No big deal, whatever. So, okay, I'm gonna take the pin out of your hand today. We're gonna take your cast off, okay? We're gonna give you a splint. I'm like, yeah, no problem, whatever, it's all good. She ends up cutting my cast, and I see the metal rod sticking out of my wrist. Like I'm like a robot at this point. I have a metal rod sticking out. I'm like, holy shit, I did not know that was in me. I'm like, I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad boy right now. So she was like, okay, Ty, we're gonna take this out. And you know what? If you want, go ahead and close your eyes. And I was like, close my eyes? I'm like, why? Leave them open. So I looked to see what she was doing, and she's grabbing like a metal tray, a metal tray, and she's walking backwards. I don't think she wants me to see what she's doing. And I look over. What are you doing over there? She's walking backwards. I see the tray. She has metal pliers. What the? What are you doing over there? She has metal pliers. She's like, Tyler, just close your eyes. It's fine. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna take a quick second. My dad and my brother were right there. They're like, just close your eyes. They knew it was coming. I'm like, what? I'm not closing my eyes. I closed my eyes. I was scared as hell. I closed my eyes. And she ended up, she grabbed the pliers. She said, okay, Ty, I'm just lay your head back. And I'm like, nah, I don't need to. And as soon as she turned around, I seen the shiny pliers, and I'm like, oh God. Okay, let me look this way. I turned this way. She said, okay, ready? She grabbed my wrist. She clamped the pliers onto the metal rod that was sticking like 3 3/3 out of my wrist. Like almost a little bit more than 3.5 inches out of my wrist. She said, okay, Ty, just take a deep breath. And I know how doctors are. They're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna count to 3, and then I'm gonna pull it. No, don't believe them. They're not counting to 3. They're gonna count to 2, so you don't brace yourself, and then they're gonna act like they count to 3. It's like, yeah, whatever, do what you gotta do. It ain't gonna hurt. She grabbed it. I'm like, oh gosh, I'm scared. I don't wanna be here. I heard metal on metal, clamps it. I'm like, oh gosh. I'm like, whatever, I'm a man. I mean, I'm a freshman, I'm a man. I can deal with this. She clamps it, rips it out, completely rips the fucking metal rod out of my wrist, and I'm like, I completely like almost pass out at that point, and I look up and I just see a metal rod that looks rusty. I'm like, what the hell? What is that? I got so nauseous, I was like, oh, completely out. She's like, you're all done. Did that hurt? And I'm like, It didn't hurt. I'm fine. I feel great. She's like, okay, you're all done. She threw me a rag. By the way, my arms, this one was as skinny as can be and hairy. I'm talking like hairy, like a chimpanzee, like a gorilla, completely hairy. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, this isn't my arm. How is there so much hair? And this one is like almost hairless. I'm looking at it like, this ain't my arm. What'd you guys do? When I was asleep, what'd you guys do? What'd you guys do? Completely hairy. So she threw me a rag and I started wiping it down. I'm like, oh. I haven't felt my arm in about 4 months. So me just wiping my arm, I'm like, oh, it feels good. I'm like, oh man. So I started scratching myself. I'm like, this is the best feeling I ever had. I was a freshman, by the way. I never had unprotected sex before. So I'm like, oh, this is the best feeling I've ever felt in my life. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm rubbing it down. It's hairy as can be. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I didn't know if you break a bone and you have a cast, it grows more hair. I didn't know that. I had no idea. You know what I mean? So right there, they take my cast off. I put a splint on. I ended up going back to school like a month later. And you guys probably can't see too well, but my wrist is completely crooked. You guys probably can't see this bone right here. Look it. It's cracked. It's supposed to be like this, to be honest. It's supposed to be like this. Instead it's like this. My bone is completely out. It's a little crooked and it's cracked. So that was the time I broke my first bone. Other than that, I've like dislocated a pinky or some shit like that. I broke 2 ribs right here. Took a nice clean body shot. Oh! Broke those couple ribs. You know, that was vicious. I'll say that for another story. You know, just messed up my fingers, messed up my ankle. Nothing too crazy, but when I broke my wrist, that is like something I never want to happen again. Never in my life I want to feel that pain. And I was scared. I broke and I'm like, this is gonna be a long journey. But that was the first time I ever broke a bone. Hopefully I never break another one. I'm just hoping I don't. So there it is, guys. Hopefully I didn't make this video too long. Hopefully you guys stay in tune with it. What do you guys mean? What are you trying to say?
Stay, take a step back, blow the cushion they face. Sudden is a habit, let them see the carrots. I'ma make it rain, nigga, I ain't scared to share. Meet me in the trail,
It's going down.
Meet me in the mall, it's going down. Meet me in the club, it's going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down. Meet me in the trail, it's going down. Meet me in the mall, it's going down. Meet me in the club, it's going down. Anywhere you meet me, guaranteed to go down.
Young Ja.
Yeah! Yeah!
It's the nitty.
Yeah! 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 Guys, that was the first episode of Story Time. I will definitely make another one if you guys enjoyed it. Please, let somebody know about the YouTube channel, YouTube fam. We're gonna keep it we're gonna keep it locked in. We're gonna keep applying that pressure. We're gonna keep this content going. I promise you, we're gonna make it out here. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think about it, guys. I'm like, hey, this is just the beginning. It's gonna take a long time for things to happen. But you know what? It's gonna be all good, because I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun journey. Like I said, I can't wait to pick up the phone and call on my mama to tell her I made it. I cannot wait for that day. YouTube fam, you guys are gonna help me out. You guys are gonna stay locked in. Stay in tune with me. We're gonna keep making these videos. We're gonna keep doing vlogs. We're gonna keep creating this content. I need you guys to be with me. It's the YouTube fam. It's Biddy's Army. You feel me? It's Biddy's Army. YouTube fam. You guys are completely different than Instagram fam. You know what I mean? So stay in tuned. I appreciate every single one of you. Shout out to Chop on the edits, cutting it up for me. Hey, I appreciate it, brother. Hey, we're gonna get another one going, I promise you. We're gonna keep it going. I'm gonna say another story time next week. So guys, I love all you guys. Bye. I love all you guys. Hey, we're gonna keep it pushing. Long live Biddy. You know how I do. Hey. Bye.
Hey! Hey, man! What's up, guys? It's me! It's Zoo! It's fucking Zoo! I'm out here trying to look for a little mommy out here. Oh, look at my goddamn chest. I'm a handsome silverback. Hey, I'm out here trying to look for a fat-ass orangutan, a fucking chimpanzee. I'm trying to hit that monkey stage. I'm trying to see what the deal is. Hey! Man, look at me. I'm looking good as ever. I belong in a zoo. Man, what's up, baby? Bring that orangutan ass over here. Man.